Welcome back to This Week in Magic Online Finance. I'm Taryn Qualls in for Chaz Andres, who is safe in his new home in Denver after fleeing Hurricane Florence across the country. Chaz wrote the script for this week's show, but his camera and computer are still boxed up, so I'm taking the reins for now. He'll be back next Monday morning unless the hurricane decides to go all the way to Colorado, which seems pretty unlikely. You'll also notice some slick new changes in today's show as well. I hope you like the new graphical upgrades. It's been a long time in the making. At any rate, the biggest story of the week, of course, is that a little over half of Guilds of Ravnica has been previewed, and the set is amazing. Even if every other card in Guilds of Ravnica ends up being bad, this is one of the most powerful and pushed sets released in years. And more than that, the cards look fun. I really do think that Guilds of Ravnica, combined with the goodies we already have from Dominaria, and the fact that we can finally wave goodbye to Kaladesh, is going to bring a lot of people back to Standard. Now, whenever a really powerful set is released, prices tend to start at a higher point and drop further than usual. Not only are people going to open a lot of packs of Guilds of Ravnica, but the expected value of a pack cannot end up too much higher than the retail value of that pack. Prices may not drop as far on MTGO than in paper, because the shocklands will settle a lot lower online, but it's worth noting that you're going to want to stay away from most of the expensive new cards for a couple of weeks if you can. So let's move on to gaining ground. In Standard, the card that gained the most ground this week was Vraska Relic Seeker, which jumped 2 tickets from 4 to 6. And this makes a ton of sense, because Golgari is looking really good in the new format. Assassin's Trophy especially. And this black-green mythic from Ixalan is going to be a lot scarier than comparable mythics from Guilds of Ravnica because, well, Ixalan was about as unpopular and underpowered as a large full set can get. While the card currently seems fairly settled at the 6-ticket mark, I can definitely see a world where this one ends up breaking the 10-ticket mark, once we get a new sense of what the new metagame might look like. In Modern, the biggest gainer this week was a massive gainer, and that is Tarmogoyf, which surged 10 full tickets from 20 up to 30 after bottoming out around the 15-ticket mark back in late August. Remember when we told you that Goyf had gotten too cheap and it was time to buy a few copies? I hope you did, because Assassin's Trophy has completely revitalized Jund's prospects for being a relevant Modern deck again. Liliana of the Veil and Dark Confidant both gained value this week as well, and you could expect the rest of the major Jund staples to follow suit. Seriously, Assassin's Trophy is an incredible card, and I really do think that Jund is back. All of these cards should continue gaining value for the next couple of weeks at least. So let's move on to the biggest loser of the week. In Standard, Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, was the biggest loser of the week, dropping 5 tickets from 36 down to 31. I'm not really sure why. Teferi is going to remain the premier control card in the new Standard environment, even if we have to wait for the winter for any actual Azorius cards to release. Teferi actually dropped about 7 tickets this week before recovering 2, so I feel like it's at least stable near the 30-ticket mark, if not about to rebound. I'm good holding these for now, or even buying in if you want to play control in the new Standard. In Modern, we actually have 2 losers of the week. The 2 biggest losers were Surgical Extraction and Karn Liberated. Surgical Extraction dropped 4 tickets from 49 down to 45, and Karn lost 4 tickets from 34 down to 30. This is yet another reaction to the printing of Assassin's Trophy, which looks like it'll cut down on Tron's efficiency, as any deck that can reasonably run black and green will have this as a Tron answer. While I doubt that this is the end of Tron as a top Modern deck, I'm a little more bearish about this deck's major staples online than in paper Magic. Cards like Karn tend to hold their value well in paper despite seeing lengthy downturns in value because it's difficult and expensive to simply move on to a new Modern deck. However, in Magic Online, it's far easier to liquidate one strategy and buy into another. Even though Tron should still be good, it won't be as good, and I wouldn't be surprised if these cards continue to drop a little bit over the next couple of weeks. Now let's move on to the sneak of the week. This week's sneak is a bit of a slow burner, but I think it's worth bringing up. Flooded Strand, the Khans of Tarkir fetch land, has been as low as 7 tickets this year and is up to 12 tickets right now. Actually, all 5 of these fetch lands are continually near the top of the most sold rares list, and they've all been slowly and steadily gaining throughout 2017 and 2018. I don't think they'll be reprinted anytime soon either, so they're pretty safe places to store value for the foreseeable future. If you don't have 4 copies of each Khan fetch and you're a Modern player, it's time to pull that trigger. Let's move on to our best sellers. As always, we're going to end the week by taking a look at MTGO Trader's sales data over the past 7 days. This gives us a great idea of which cards are selling the best regardless of price increases or decreases. And it's definitely helped us in the past to get ahead of any market trends. In terms of overall sales by volume, Khan's Fetch Lands, Windswept Heath, and Wooded Foothills are still the best-selling rares, part of why I wanted to highlight them as our sneak of the week. We also have Thoughtseize near the top as well, but that isn't much of a surprise. Most intriguing, however, is that Spiral of Canal is fairly close to the top of the list, pretty unique for a rotating card. Spirebluff Canal does see a lot of modern play though, and it's very cheap right now, just 2.5 tickets after spending most of its time in Standard between 6 and 8 tickets. This is a solid long-term hold, and I'm going to grab a couple of sets while it's still so cheap. In terms of overall sales by price, Modern is king. Mox Opal and Horizon Canopy are still both in the top 5, but they're now joined by Jund Staples, Liliana of the Veil, and Tarmogoyf. Therefore, these price gains appear driven by legitimate demand, and I wouldn't be surprised if they continue as professional and amateur players alike try to find the best home for Assassin's Trophy in Modern. But that's going to do for this week in Magic Online Finance. Don't forget to like and subscribe and join Chaz for his return next Monday morning. Have a good one, guys. Peace. Thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel for more awesome MTG content just like this, and make sure to tap the bell icon to be notified whenever a video is made live. If you want to keep watching content, here are 2 more videos for you. This video and many others are sponsored by MTGO Traders and Cape Fear Games. Buy and sell digital singles to build your online collection today with MTGO Traders, and get your paper singles, accessories, and much more from Cape Fear Games. Whatever your Magic needs, both places have you covered.